All right, guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Lava Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, little different of a setup right now. Not in my room, doing the videos, but gotta say, today's the day. Today is the day that the Brooklyn Nets are going to get Kyrie Irving. Yes, guy that has the best crossover in the game, the guy that shot the game-winning three-point shot in the 2016 NBA Finals. Yes, he is now coming back to play for the Brooklyn Nets. But it's not on a full-time basis. It's on a part-time basis because he is not fully vaccinated because of what's going on in New York State, where they're not allowing you, if you're not a fully vaccinated person, to play, inside, Madison Square Garden, Barclays Centers. You can't even go to gyms if you're not fully vaccinated. All right. Don't want to get too much involved with that. But yes, Kyrie Irving is coming back to the Brooklyn Nets, playing on the road, making his debut in Indiana. Looking forward to it. I'm going to be tuning in. I can't wait to watch. All right. And then we also got news that Klay Thompson is expected to come back this Sunday at San Fran to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we have two mega superstars, two former champions, coming back. One from injury, who has been out for 2 years. The other, who hasn't played because of his decision of not wanting to get vaccinated. Very excited to see both these stars come back. Both teams are, favorites to eventually meet up in the finals, and they have two of the highest odds on winning it all. So my question is, what kind of Klay Thompson are we expecting, on Sunday? And what kind of Kyrie Irving are we expecting tonight as he faces the Indiana Pacers? Well, in my personal opinion, I think that as for the Pacers facing the Nets, I think there's going to be a huge help for the Brooklyn Nets because of the fact that Kyrie hasn't played in quite some time, right? Kyrie, this actually might be a good thing, him playing on a part-time basis, because of the fact that, guys, if you ever play basketball, and if you ever stop playing basketball for, 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months, and then you try going back into playing a regular basketball game, you realize how tired your legs are, how tiring it gets running up and down the court, how tiring it gets shooting up shots. And for Kyrie Irving to come back on a part-time basis, I think this can slowly integrate himself back into basketball shape, not just in regular shape, in basketball shape. And, let's see if he gets vaccinated or not. If he gets vaccinated, I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to be the champions in the NBA this year. But if he doesn't, I think it makes it more important that, that he's out for every single road game. He's not taking days off, and he's there 100% healthy. With going on throughout the whole NBA, you got players, in health and safety protocol. Brooklyn Nets were one of the teams that ended up getting impacted heavily. You see now what's happening with the Knicks. Julius Randle was impacted too, so it's hitting everybody in the NBA. And Kyrie is listed to play today. The question is whether he's going to start or not. But they did say that he is going to play a huge chunk of minutes. Now going into the Klay Thompson, now that's the question that I have for you. That's the biggest question mark, in my opinion, Klay Thompson, because yes, we haven't seen him play since they lost in the NBA Finals to the Toronto Raptors in the 2019 NBA Finals. Remember, that's when Klay Thompson ended up tearing his ACL. That's when Klay Thompson also was seen. He ended up wanting to shoot free throws and continue playing the game, but they didn't allow him to. That's just the type of dog that he is. He was trying to get prepared for the offseason last year, and in a pickup game, if I'm not mistaken, and the guy ends up tearing his Achilles. So it was just one major injury after another, huge impact, that a huge setback that ended up holding back the Golden State Warriors from even going anywhere far, because last year they were in that play-in tournament. I guarantee you, with Klay Thompson, they were not going to be in that play-in tournament, they would have been maybe like the second or third seed. But Steph was doing a lot of work last year. He's doing a lot of work this year. You saw what he ended up doing. Guy ended up breaking the all-time three-point record, right? Now you're bringing in the healthy Klay Thompson back. Now the Golden State Warriors are going to make some noise. I know James Wiseman's also coming back too. That kid's is a stud, in my opinion. You got Jordan Poole and the whole bunch with Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins. I don't know. Golden State looks great as it is right now. You're adding a healthy Klay Thompson. Whew, I don't know. The West is going to get a hell of a lot more challenging for everybody else because Golden State is here to play. But the question is really, how healthy is Klay Thompson? Because you have an injury like an ACL tear, right? Takes you out for a full year, all right? You haven't played real basketball in 2 years. You get a torn Achilles. I mean, that's the same injury that took out Isaiah Thomas out. It ruined Kobe Bryant. It took Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was never the same after that. Now, I know we had Kevin Durant who tore his Achilles, right? And, you see what he's at right now. But Klay Thompson, what's it called? My biggest question is this. I know that he's going to bring it to you offensively. Can he still bring it for you defensively? Because he was always taking the biggest, toughest assignments at the guard position, all right? Whether it was a Russell Westbrook back in the day, because Russell Westbrook is still good, but Klay Thompson was guarding Westbrook. Whether it was Damian Lillard, all right? I don't think he'll be guarding somebody like a Luka Doncic because he's just way too tall, and especially with him coming off an injury, I mean, Luka could just do a number on Klay, especially if he's not completely healthy. But my question is, can Klay Thompson return back to the form that he was defensively? Because offensively, I think he has that locked down. Defensively, I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of questions to be said over there. But who's going to make the biggest impact immediately? I will say it's Kyrie Irving. I think Klay Thompson is going to take a little bit of time to get integrated. But in the long term, I think it's Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson in the long term can make some noise for you guys. He can help make a spark to make a huge playoff push for the Golden State Warriors. And Golden State is in a position where they can possibly, win another title. The last time they won the title was back in 2018 against the Cavs. They ended up winning, Klay, Steph, Draymond. They have 3 rings. They're on a quest to try to get title number 4, ring number 4. Is it possible for this year? I think it's very possible. Just the way that roster, how much depth they have at each position, guard, forward, center. They all play, very integrated with one another. I'm very intrigued on how Klay Thompson's going to come into play. But going back into Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, the question is, will he get vaccinated? Will he not get vaccinated? If he gets vaccinated, I think whatever Klay does, it's not going to supersede Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving, I think, is going to have a bigger, more impactful impact than Klay Thompson, just because we've seen where the Brooklyn Nets are. They're the second seed, all right? They're right behind Chicago. Chicago's been playing phenomenal. But I think that's their ceiling. I don't think they could get any higher than that. I believe Chicago can make a huge playoff push, but I don't think they're going to make it to the finals. Brooklyn can make the finals with just James Harden and Kevin Durant. You put Kyrie Irving into the mix, I think it's game over right there. So the question is with Kyrie is not so much of his skill, but whether or not is he willing to get vaccinated. And this time off from basketball, will this make him think like, you know what, maybe I should prioritize basketball number 1 because I am getting paid an exorbitant amount of money? But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited what's going to happen between the Indiana Pacers and Brooklyn Nets. I'll be tuning in. I'll also be tuning in for the Cleveland Cavaliers Golden State game on Sunday. But guys, that's going to cover everything on Dropping Dimes. Guys, leave questions and comments in the comment section below on who do you think is going to have the bigger impact in the short term, whether it's Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, as well as the long term between those two individuals, and who's most likely to win the title. Is it Golden State or the Brooklyn Nets? Until then, guys, I am Flav Oriana. Thank you for tuning in to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flav Oriana, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, guys, and have a good one. Stay safe, guys.